NXT. Finally, we got some progression. Some progression that's been a long time coming. But I have to say this again. And I gotta mean it. We don't know how long this is gonna last. Now I'm legitimately hoping the rounds of releases has stopped, but I doubt it. I still believe by July to August, the releases will end. They will be done. Right now, we don't have anything more than what we know already, at least so far. I have checked a couple of sites to see if there's any more releases. We haven't gotten them. But there's something I do need to say. Before I get to NXT, I looked at Raw. I saw Brock Lesnar. That was the only thing that was good on the show. If you enjoyed this Raw, more power to you. I'm happy for you. But legitimately, seeing that they're going to tribal combat, that's the best they got for the show. That's it. There's nothing great for Seth. Nothing. Nothing great for Seth Rollins. Nothing great for Braun Breaker. The Usos are doing exactly as they've been doing. The same thing. Roman Reigns, the same thing. I don't see anything new for Raw. Nothing is new for Raw. And I know some people would say, well, you know how it goes after WrestleMania. There's always a great build and then a lull. Guys, this is more than just a lull. Legitimately, WWE does not care anymore. They know you're going to come and give them this no matter what. So they're not going to give much effort. The effort has now dropped substantially. And as I said before, for more than a year and a half into 2. Actually, more than 2 years. I said, and I'm saying it again, you have no idea what will happen who took over Vince McMahon. You don't know. And right now, the ones who've taken over Vince McMahon is Silver Lake. Silver Lake is the ultimate boss right now. It's not The Rock. It's not even Ari. It's Silver Lake. Now, do I have proof that Silver Lake is motivating how the show is booked? Of course not. But there are directives that is so obvious that it's sickening. Look, we know they took a 50% pay cut. We know that TKO has some money problems because of the purchase. And Silver Lake wants to make as much money from that purchase that was made by Ari Emanuel. So we're going to keep getting mediocre work. Not because just Triple H doesn't care anymore, because he doesn't. Doesn't care anymore because, one, he already knows, obviously, they're going to get rid of him. I said this before. It's only a matter of time before they get rid of him. And I said it before JD and Alex. That's not a brag. It's just what I saw. But now you can see everything I stated for more than 2 years. That this is not going to be good. WWE is a mess. And at this point, it's going to get worse. Because it's only a matter of time, even though Triple H has been given a contract extension, does not mean they'll keep it. It's only a matter of time before they get rid of him. But this is just me. Moving on. Okay, first match. Excuse me. Allergies. Let me give it to you like this. Did I care about Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Rain? No. It was a good match. And I do like Izzy Rain. I actually like her. She does her own announcement like Big E Langston. Remember Big E. Oh, brother. Don't be sour. Laugh and clap your hands for the new age power. That's not exactly what he said, but you get my point. Excuse me. Told you. Allergies. I've been waiting for that. You know how many weeks it takes before I sneeze, even with medicine? It drives me insane. But I like her opening. I like that she makes it about rock and roll. Match was fine. And then we get a little bit of Zarya wiping them both out after the match and a nice little hug. They had a hug. The title was held up. And Zarya came in, wiped their asses out. And then she looks like she wants to just lick the damn title. Let's make it clear. Zarya wants to lick that shit. She wants to lick her title. She wants that title and she wants to lick it. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just make sure it's clean. Sterilized. excuse me, and make sure you wine and dine it before you basically leave your mark on it, Zarya. That's what I got to say. Moving on. Next. Sorry about that. I started sneezing pretty heavily. But let's make it very clear. Carver versus Wilder. And I'm going to be honest here. When I see this match, do I care about them? No. Carver is interesting to the point where they want to make it about him only wanting money. He don't give a damn. He don't care about two damn flips. Pay him and he will destroy everybody. You don't pay him, he wants to walk. If they continue that narrative, it makes some sense because he doesn't care about wrestling. He doesn't care about any of it. He only cares about money. It kind of reflects TKO. That you got a guy there that doesn't really give a fuck about pro wrestling, how much he loves it because he was a super fan. It don't matter. His persona is a guy who used to be a football player, I believe. He don't care. He wants this for himself and his family. Pay him and he'll do your job. Don't pay him, I'm out. That's the way it looks. And at one point during the match, I don't know when it actually happened. Maybe it was when he went to the turn post, or when Carver might have hit him straight fist to his left eye. He started bleeding. And that's, what was it? I forgot his first name, but Wilder just started bleeding. I don't remember he got. Sorry, the sneeze is making my nose run. Don't worry. I will remember these guys' names eventually. When they're really mean something to me, when they really seem like they got good stories, I will remember their names. But I don't right now. I'll either remember the first name or the last name, or I won't remember them at all. They got to be relevant. You can keep showing them on TV doing great matches, but until they feel relevant, and it's not always about the matches that make them feel relevant. Look at Lizzie Range. She has just a personality that makes her very interesting. It's not about her clothes, not about if she got D's. It's not about how pretty she is. She has to make some type of connection and impact with the fans. And I feel that with her. When it comes to Wilder, I don't feel anything. Carver, Keanu really feels like a guy who doesn't give two damn flips. Who's just like any other guy, pay me some money and I'll break some heads. If you don't pay me my money, I'm walking. That's how he feels. Moving on to the next match. Let me give it to you like this. When you see Mason Hendricks and you see, I like Cam. I like Cam Hendricks. He has something. I did see him a little bit during first season of LFG. He felt like a dick. Not a mean dick, but a nice dick. Like, he's a dick. But he's a dick that you can see that he cares about wrestling. That's the way I feel about it. The way he came off. Doesn't mean he's a bad guy. It just felt like he was a dick. When you look at Mason Rook, he reminds me of Bam Bam Bigelow. He just does. It's not about how large he is. It's just at least as far as I can tell, some of his ring work does remind me of Bam Bam. The other half kind of reminds me of a young Bam Bam Bigelow back in the 80s when he just felt like something. You didn't know how badass he was going to be. He just felt like it was something there. Because I remember seeing Bam Bam as a kid and a teenager. I remember seeing him. But it felt like there was something about him. Maybe it was the tats. Maybe it was just the way he worked in the ring. He was never 100% great on the mic at first. He did later. He sounded great on the mic later in years. But his early years, he just wasn't a good talker. That's what I'm getting from Rook. Now, of course, Bowen and Tony D, they are who they are. They've been developed for more than a few years. Easily, they're fine. But then you see the ending of that match. And it was about Cam Hendricks getting that pin and pissing off Rook. Because later in that night, when you see Rook coming to the ring because Hendricks tried to make it all about himself in that interview. Let's make it clear. The interview, it was just ass kissing. Because let's make it clear, they really wanted to make sure that the fans were getting ass kissed because they wanted to show how much Hendrix was. Having that piece on his neck, Showtime, they really wanted to emphasize how important Cam is. They really see something in him. They really think that he can be something. So they're doing everything they can to either piss off that fan base or to make them love him. And when Rook came out, he's already over. He's already over. Were they just screwing with him saying you're fat, you're huge, and the chant, I can't remember what the chant is right now, but you know what the chant is. And they don't really need to do much with him because of, I guess, whatever reputation he had when he came from the outside. But like I said before, that means bullshit. It's bullshit how much they may cheer for him. It's bullshit how much they chant anything that's talking about fat. It don't matter. It counts on how they book him from going forward. They're going by what happened before when he was outside. And is it bad? No, at this point. They need to develop him. Because it's only going to go so far. And seeing he's not really good on the mic. I'm going to say this. Is Cam better than Mason on the mic? Cam is better on the mic. He just is. It's not because Mason has an accent that sounds either British or Scottish. Don't know which one it is. It don't matter. I've heard people who got a British or Scottish accent that can talk rings around people. It's as simple as that. And right now, Rook needs work on his mic skills. It just feels disjointed how he talks. It's not the way he talks. It's how he's talking. And yeah, he laid out Hendrix. Fine, everyone's over. But he needs more. He definitely needs more than just the chance and being able to do a splat in the ring. Let's make it clear. That ring splat into the turnbuckle, that's nasty. For his size, doing it someone whose neck is going to get jacked a little bit every time they take it. Next. Alright, Romeo, I don't remember his first name. He is working with Nolan Dar. It looks like Nolan Dar at this point is being basically his manager. He's by his side. This is his first match. And then you see, how do I feel about Angels? I'm going to be honest here. I don't know. Does he look great? Yeah. Is he good in the ring? Yeah. Can he talk? Yeah. But does he feel relevant? No. No. He doesn't feel relevant. Just like what's going on with Rook, they're taking whatever he did from the outside and trying to translate it here. And it doesn't work all the time. Do I believe that it could work eventually? It could, counting on how they book him. Because remember, reputation from the outside can get you so far. And the other half must be about the booking. And at this point, Angels, just being a good wrestler and having a good look is not enough. He needs something more. Kind of like what I said with Lizzie Rain. She just has some type of personality that is you can latch on to. And then you look at, why is Shiloh Hill trying to be Mr. NXT to mess with Angels? Because he used to be a male... What? I'm like, a male beauty pageant? They don't do that, do they? I don't even know. I mean, I know they do bodybuildings like this, but they don't normally do pageants for men. I don't know. You guys some below in Europe, I don't know if they do that. I don't know if they do. But the point here is this. I don't feel Angels yet. Can he talk? Yes, he can. Does he have a great look? Yes, he can. Can he go in the ring? Yeah. But it does not mean it translates into being relevant. I'm missing something here. And it can't be because of the work outside. Like I said, the work from the outside is bullshit. I don't give a damn about the work outside. If you tell me, dude, you need to see his work outside, it doesn't mean shit to me. Not meant to disrespect you. But none of that work means shit to me because they got to take whatever it is as an initial and build on top of it. Or, if it's not working, disregard and try something new. That's all I'm feeling. I'm not getting it. Now, let me say this. What did I feel about Niroku facing Tony D? Because, of course, after the match between Tony D and Bourne, the pin really pissed off Tony D because of Tavion Heights interfering. Because Tavion tried to get his hands on Hendricks, which nailed... It just felt like a domino. Tavion messed with Hendricks, which messed with Bourne, which messed up the match. And we see them in the back while you see Shiloh trying to get Birthright to sign his petition to be Mr. NXT. Let me give it to you like this. I'm going to say this. Seeing Naruku. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. Like I said, I will get it down like Shinsuke Nakamura. It took me a while to get his name, but I finally got it. But the thing is, this short amount of time you see him, I feel like, yes, they're presenting him well. I don't know if they did the same thing in New Japan. They're presenting him well, but there must be something else. I don't know what it is. There's something needs to be added. It doesn't mean it's going badly yet, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. Something needs to be added. Maybe Shinsuke coming to NXT, talking with him might give me something. Because honestly, he needs something. And I don't know if it's a bad or good, what's going on with him. I just don't know yet. I'm just saying. Next, the culling. Are we seeing the culling finally getting rid of Shawn Spears? Because next week we're getting a tag match for the culling. And then Izzy is upset because now they're getting a match on the same day that she has to have a match. And Nico is telling Spears, wait, we can't do it now. And he said, we got our chance. And now you can see both Nico and Izzy looking at each other like, what's going on here? Why? Why now? Why? So it's a good chance that Shawn might be done. They may finally break him away from the culling. But will it? Here's the thing. I don't know if this is going to work. Because the recognition of Shawn is what's been making the culling work. And if they are going to push him out, I don't know if Niku and Izzy Dana are enough by themselves. I just don't know. It just looks like they're beginning to do it. Now, let me say this when it came to Keanu Jordan getting in the ring, Lola Vice, Izzy Dane, and I don't know how I felt at the end of that. Did I think Keanu talked well? She talked fine. She was just saying that she was better than everybody as usual. And why is she at the end of the line? Which, technically, she's telling the truth, but then she's not. Because she said she's never had a shot. She had close to having a shot. But she never could get it done. She could never get the thing done when they pulled the trigger on her. Then you see Izzy coming in along with Lola. And Lola's saying, Izzy, I'm doing you first. Lola, I'm doing you second. And Kendall Gray comes out as well saying that, hey, I had you, but she said, no, you did not. That's not my fault. You couldn't get it done. And then you see Ren Sinclair come in with the crutches, but instead of hitting Izzy, because wouldn't you want to hit Izzy? Because Izzy's the one who landed on top of you when Lola and her were fighting. She goes after Kendall's opponent. And I'm like, wait. I'm not feeling this. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me personally. I know it should make sense because, look, Kendall's the focus right now. You see Ren attacking, and it makes sense to do Keanu Jordan. But then, remember, guys, when you see the match last week, you see Ren getting run over by Izzy. Legitimately just squashed. She lays right on top of her. And you would think, unless the match she's going to get next week if she gets cleared, will be with Izzy Dane. But it's not going to be. If I'm right, it may be with Keanu Jordan. And that's what it feels like it's going to be. And then it makes me wonder, let's put this in perspective. Yes, by Ren Sinclair going after Izzy Dane, that would interfere with what's going on with Lola Vice, trying to get her hands on Izzy. But since it's on behalf of her best friend, because she said it earlier that, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been there, I interfered in the match, and they said we're best friends, don't worry about that, you would think it would go back over on Kendall. Because she's going to nail Ren Sinclair for attacking Izzy, and then probably messing with Izzy, and then trying to get a match with Izzy, but it doesn't work out, and she's trying to get her back for it. That's the way it sounds like it could be, but no. They're just going after, excuse me, going after Kiani Jordan, which makes me think that only reason they're doing this for Kiani is that she's going to be moving up to the main roster maybe this year. They just want to get things sorted out and settled so Kiani can just move on. And that would make the best sense. Is it good storyline-wise? No, but that's the way I feel about it. And finally, if I'm forgetting something, and I probably am, I'm sorry. He is out of Darkstate. We get Vanity Project versus Darkstate. Shugs and let me give you like this. Dion Lennox. Over the years since I've seen him, he's been the nerd, then he's been just angry, now he's been in Darkstate, and I always felt because of the fighting between him and Shugs, he was going to be the new leader of Darkstate, even though they say they don't have one. He is the leader of Darkstate. His aggressiveness has overwhelmed all of Darkstate, caused havoc for Darkstate, caused problems for Darkstate where they lost the tag belts. They tried to get them back. They could not get them back because of him, because of his over-aggressiveness. So this was it. They said it. Osiris and Cutler said, if you don't win this, we got to make changes. The match was fine. But in the end, Shugs was the one who got pinned by Smokes, I believe. I don't believe it was done by Baron. What was it? Oh, I think it was Smokes. But when it was all over, you could see Darkstate just standing in the ring, all four of them. You see Shugs hammering on the mat, just so frustrated. He stands up, and you hear Dion saying, wait, whoa, what are you doing? Whoa. And you see both Cutler, who are like where my hands are, looking at Dion, and they turn towards Shugs, and they just whooped that ass. They just destroyed him a little bit. And then they come back over to Lennox, and they just look at him, and he smiles, and then he just lays into Shugs and destroys him. Now, Shug did get a good hit in, no problem. He showed, I ain't going out like a bitch, so gave him a good hit. But then, in fact, he just still got his ass handed to him. Now, what does this mean? Darkstate now has a leader, and it's Dion Lennox. But does that mean Darkstate is gone? No. But then, you don't know who may leave. Guys, again, like I said, until maybe July or August, we don't know who's staying. We don't know. And as far as I can tell, maybe Shugs might be released. But then the way they've been booking people, where it's been so monotone, and yes, a lot of new people on NXT, we could still lose people that are basically on TV. People could just be plucked out and ended. Look, we don't even know what's going to happen with Lakita Lyons. As far as I know, Lakita's still there, but she could have been released already because I don't know what happened on Evolve. I don't know if she lost her match to Petrovic. As far as I know, she probably lost to Petrovic, and maybe that might have been her last match in WWE, period. Or she could still be on the roster. Only thing I know is this, until maybe August, unless it's something special after August, if someone does something really bad or they ask for the release and they're willing to take it, say, okay, you want to be released? We'll give it to you. We still don't know how many more people are going to go by June and July. But it's just me. Peace.